Oh, hello YouTube. Specifically, the 200 plus people who subscribe to this channel before I've even posted a video. And for that, I am humbled, I am grateful, and to show my appreciation, I am going to show you something that I never thought that I would show anybody. It's the prototype YouTube episode I shot to decide whether or not this YouTube thing is for me. And it's awful. Sometimes I am speaking like this. Sometimes I accidentally shot in portrait mode. Sometimes I was taking photos when I thought I was shooting video. And then one time I was recording in my pocket without even knowing about it. But I want you to see it. I want you to see it all, and I want to know what you think of it. The plan still is to begin uploading in January. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy what has become officially episode 1 of my YouTube channel. Thanks again. When you travel, what do you do with your time? Why do you do those things? And what do you get out of it? Have a think about that for a second. I'm not really a guided tour or tourist destination kind of guy, and so whatever I'm doing while traveling is probably going to involve one of these. There's an Indonesian phrase, jalan-jalan, which just means to be wandering around, having a look, or jalan-jalan, lihat-lihat. Now I get it, just wandering around might seem kind of aimless or pointless. But have you ever been to a destination that Google or social media tells you is fantastic? Everybody's photos of it are fantastic, or their videos, but when you get there, it's not quite what you expected. Or it's so overrun with tourists that you can't even get the real experience of the place. Well, the thing about jalan-jalan and lihat-lihat is you never know what you're going to find. And sometimes you might not find anything, but finding the nothing is the joy in itself. There's a bit of joyful nothing, and it really is something. The next part of the equation, regardless of what you choose to do when you're on holidays or traveling, is what do you get out of it? Do you even need anything out of it? For me, what I get from jalan-jalan, lihat-lihat is a sense of total freedom, of not needing to be anywhere within a time frame, to not be bound to a destination, really leaning into the not knowing. I get it. Everybody's got different personalities. Some people, their comfort exists on a continuum, and the not knowing can be scary. But like anything, I think with a little practice, you could get in the zone. If you're interested, that's Padang Bai Bay just there. That's where you catch ferries to various islands. It's also a working port. A little further up the coast, you can see a town, that's Manggis, and then further around the coast again is Candidasa. And I'm about 35 minutes motorcycle ride north of Candidasa. Of course, Jalan Jalan can also come with some rocky roads, and you need to assess your appetite for risk. Assessing your appetite for risk is going to come partly from past experiences, but I'm not going to lie, there can also be some sheer stupidity involved. But there are far more options than do I do it or don't I? There's always going to be a happy medium, the Goldilocks zone, the middle path. That middle path could be, do I go part of the way? Or as I'm doing now, do I walk it first and assess whether or not the challenges ahead are worth it? The thing is, this could just be a little section of rocky road, and there could be perfectly good road beyond it. The thing I'm thinking about is rocky road is one thing, rocky road on the flat is another thing, rocky road uphill is another thing, rocky road downhill, which is what this would be, is another thing again. But I've traversed worse. Going down's one thing, going down sideways is another thing. If I've got to come back up here, that's going to be interesting. Now I'm sure there's people out there with motorcycle riding experience and with the right bike, this is a walk in the park on a Honda PCX designed for an urban commute. It's a slightly different proposition. That didn't sound good. It's the back wheel slipping sideways underneath me. That is my current cause for concern. Before I get too cocky, it does look like that's the worst of it. But again, if I have to come up this way, life will become more interesting. Spoke too soon about the worst of it. Never great to see you're not in the groove most ridden by all other local drivers. mud. I much prefer rocks over mud. Probably not clear on camera how much sideways slipping is happening. Oh man, up a hill. Nightmare. As serene as the view is, and it's well and truly worth it, I have reached a point of no return in that going back is a whole lot trickier than going forward. And they're both tricky. Wish me luck. But little did I realize how tricky could become. That's really it's just not doable. There's places there where the bike would, the undercarriage would just get pulled apart. So now begins the journey up. I don't know if this angle does the slope justice. That's where I stopped. That really is as far as I can go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's assess the situation. Motor turun. Saya tidak So it has become very obvious that without help that's where the motorbike's staying. So now it's a situation of walking until I can find a local or locals. This could be famous last words. And I know in Australia, probably Canada, the United States, they say, stay with the vehicle while I'm heading off with water. In here is first aid kit with all sorts of things, including things for rolled ankles and the like. And there's plenty of potential for that. The race now, of course, is that it's wet season and not the weather forecasts can be relied upon in a place like Bali, but if today they can be, now it's a race against the rain because the rain is due about 1 p.m. It's currently 11:30. Now, I'm not one for filming locals unless I 100% know that I have their consent. Now, the chances of anyone speaking English up here are limited, as is my command of the Indonesian language. But for the purposes of capturing the interaction, I will hit record and leave my camera in my pocket so that there is at least audio. This is the first glimpse of civilization for a while. I just spotted a chicken also, so that's a good sign that perhaps someone is here. Well, maybe not here. Oh yes, a house. All right, I'm going to stop filming this. Permisi. Halo. Saya perlu tolong. Apa bisa berbahasa Inggris? Halo. Saya motor. Turun.
Sana cari orang.
Orang?
Ada sana.
Di sini.
Kalau bahasa Indonesia bisa.
Lurus, belok kiri. Oke, berapa menit? Berapa menit?
Aja. 1 menit.
Okay. Makasih, Bu. Makasih. Through hand gestures, I think it was ascertained that there's a person. I most certainly heard the word orang, and that I keep walking for about a minute. Stay tuned. Okay, I might have more luck here. Again, I will put my phone in my pocket. Hello. Halo, apa bisa berbahasa Inggris sedikit?
Where are you going?
Well, that's the problem. My motorbike is 10 minutes that way, but
No road? Yes, road.
yes, but
No road.
saya sudah pergi lurus dan motorbike
Jatuh?
tidak turun, tidak naik.
Oke, tunggu. Lihat. Dad, okay, let's do.
Okay.
Dan,
Sempurna. Makasih banyak. Makasih banyak. Unfortunately, I didn't capture the moment, but help is at hand. But rain is also at hand. This is my new friend Sumadi,
okay, nice to meet you.
and Sumadi is
Channel.
going to try and help me retrieve the motorcycle. Makasih banyak, Sumadi.
Okay.
Through the wonders of Google Translate, we're currently figuring out how we might do this. The plan is, he's going to push,
Okay.
I'm going to drive, and Mum's going to supervise. Sumadi, tell the people the name of your YouTube channel.
Sumadi channel. Please subscribe Sumadi channel. Sumadi channel.
These people, this
Mom.
lady,
Yes.
and this guy saved my life.
Okay.
We're mostly underway. The other dude that arrived has ridden my bike through the worst of it, and I think they're going to show me a better way to go back. The only casualty is the back kickstand with 2 feet seems to have lost its spring and is dangling, so we'll see if we can get that tied up before I head off. So after all the excitement, we're just chilling with a bit of a drink because it's much needed. I think I've lost 2 liters just through sweating. Thanks to this dude. Thanks to this dude.
Okay.
And it gets better. Now we're having coffee, and in that container there is palm wine, tuak. And Mama has insisted that I take some of that with me. I'm not going to drink it now. I've got a bit of riding to do.
Oh, tradisional Bali, water tradisional Bali ki. Gitu, Mister. Oke, ayam ya. Ayam. Yule. No?
Nah, tidak sekarang.
Oh, tidak sekarang. Oke.
Nanti.
Masuk sini.
Bandung mudik.
Goodbye. Makasih banyak. You saved me. All right, bye-bye. Alrighty, now I'm getting on the back of here and he's gonna take me away from the madness. Okay, on the road again. And from the looks of things, just in time because here comes that rain. So what's the moral of the Jalan Jalan story? It's a story as old as time. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. If I had have set out with a specific destination in mind, I would have Google mapped that. And I would have seen that the road ends and I wouldn't have taken that journey. But I also wouldn't have needed the help of locals. I wouldn't have been invited into a family home. I wouldn't have been treated to that hospitality of not just water, but coffee, tuak. I wouldn't have had that cultural exchange. And that cultural exchange wasn't just about me. By its very nature, a cultural exchange is two-way. They got something out of it too. So have a think about your next trip. Maybe it's the trip you're currently on. Maybe it'll be your first ever trip. Where might a little jalan-jalan, lihat-lihat fit into your life? What's your appetite for risk, your threshold for the unknown, and for that you get the rewards that you're just not gonna get from Google or TikTok. So have a think about that while you enjoy this beautiful view.